I've reviewed a lot of episodes of Miraculous Ladybug. Like, a lot. Like, nearly, 55 at this point? But out of all 55 of those episodes, only 7 up to this point have been able to reach a perfect 10 out of 10 rating. Or heck, even better in particular, one episode. In Season 1, we had 5 classic 10 out of 10 episodes. Those episodes were Timebreaker, Mr. Pigeon, Lady Wi-Fi, Horrificator, and Origins. In Season 2, it was... Let me bring this forward, sorry. I apologize for my unprofessionalism. In Season 2, we had Riposte, Captain Hard Rock. Oh. Yeah, there was only 2 10 out of 10s in Season 2. So now that we're at Season 3, and we are at Episode 5 of Season 3, well, we have our first 10 out of 10 episode, ladies and gentlemen. And it's for an episode that very much deserves it. This is not only an absolutely phenomenal episode of Miraculous, but it is arguably one of the best of the whole show. Yes, no hyperbole. This episode is excellent in every single way, shape, and form, to the point where I don't even have any complaints. Like, yes, they're reusing a villain. They're reusing Reflekdoll from, what was it, Season 1, I believe? Yeah, from Season 1, Episode 19. And usually, reusing villains is a bit of a lazy way to, not have to make new ones. But with this episode, and it being this great, I'm willing to give it a pass. Because this episode is great. It is fantastic. It is amazing. It is outstanding. It is every single word in the freaking book you can imagine. It is an absolutely phenomenal episode, and I am proud to call it the first perfect episode of Season 3. And yes, that means it's going to be very high at the very end of this season ranking, because this is an incredible episode. So, let's not waste any more time and dive right in. Welcome back to Animation Station, welcome back to Miraculous March 3, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 5, Reflekdoll. Let's begin. The synopsis is that Ladybug and Cat Noir get each other's Miraculous when they must take on Julika, who has become Reflekdoll again and now has a Senti monster. Because yeah, Mayora gets involved in this one too. And I think it's the first time we've seen Mayora get involved, and I think it's also the first time we've seen a Senti monster. So, right there is a lot more high stakes and tension than your average episode of Miraculous. Not to mention, the concept itself, it's the 2 lead characters swapping their Miraculous. Though granted unintentionally, because Reflekdoll actually hits both of them with her beam from her Reflekdoll, which turns them both into copies of Reflekdoll. So Tiki and Plag can't find their actual owners, and instead they find their opposing owners. Which gives us these 2 awesome variations of the characters. In this case, Mr. Bug and Lady Noir. Let's start with Mr. Bug first. It's a simple design, but it's a design that works pretty good. Not to mention, Adrian really does pull off that color scheme really well with the blonde hair. But it is nothing compared to Lady Noir, which I'm probably gonna get crap for this. This is one of the coolest alternative designs of any character in all of animation, and yes, I will die on this hill. Happily, thank you very much. Lady Noir is an incredible new design for Marinette. From her usual hairstyle turning into just one long braid that looks like a cat's tail, to the usage of the whole big gray/black bodysuit with the green accents, to even Marinette's hair turning black to match the suit. Like, it looks so cool. And then you have the eyes, and, well, she has claws. Like, I love the Lady Noir suit. It is one of the coolest freaking alternative designs of a character that I have seen in any superhero show, and in all of animation for that matter. There is a reason that she was a part of one of my channel banners at that time. Yes, I haven't seen the full episode up to this point, and I even forgot which episode it comes from, but as soon as I saw it happening, I'm like, oh, it's this one. It's the one that, unfortunately, Google spoiled me about. Yeah, they swapped the Miraculous, and it is both hilarious and amazing. First of all, let's talk about Lady Noir for a second. It completely switches Marinette's personality. You know, she's usually the bubbly sweetheart, kind of like Charlie from Hazbin Hotel, but here, she's actually a lot more arrogant, cocky, flirty, and acts way more like, well, Cat Noir. And seeing Marinette act this way is an interesting contrast with her normal personality. Especially her little digs at Mr. Bug in the middle of the fight, where she has to keep explaining to him how things work, and she does it with such a snark and sass. Like, it's so freaking cool. They did an amazing job with Lady Noir, and it's easily one of the coolest designs in the entire show. Like, no offense to Mr. Bug, he's cool too, but Lady Noir, man, just damn. Talk about absolutely nailing your concept. So, yeah, I've praised Lady Noir a lot, if you haven't already been able to tell. And another interesting thing about Lady Noir I'll point out is the way that she's more aggressive as well, especially in her fighting style. Like, most of the time, Mr. Bug is trying to figure out what his powers even do. And that means that Lady Noir has to step up and defend him from all these energy blasts using both the rod and even a cataclysm. And again, seeing Marinette, of all people, this way is really fascinating. And the voice actress, Christina V, I believe, the same voice actress who voices Veronica in Hell of a Boss, by the way, she nails it here. Like, she absolutely nails this personality swap, and it's so freaking cool to see, and I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm done praising Lady Noir. I've praised her enough. Let's move on to the actual episode itself. So, Juleka being the one being akumatized again makes a lot of sense. Especially considering the fact that this is an episode that kind of talks about peer pressure and, well, stage fright. Because Juleka wants to be a model. And with a little bit of encouragement from her brother Luca, I assume it's her brother, they don't really make it clear in this episode, she finds the courage to try and be Marinette's model for the new clothing that she's designed. And then, of course, Olio also ropes in Adrian just to mess with Marinette even more, which is hilarious. But then Juleka gets stage fright, and she just can't bring herself to do it, so Olio suggests that Marinette takes her place, and then Juleka obviously has a lot of shame for herself for not being able to do this role that she herself signed up for, which results in the emotions that get her akumatized into Reflekdoll. And like I said, it's literally the exact same villain, just with the difference of a Senti monster. That Senti monster being Reflekdoll, which is an okay design, but it's not really all that interesting. It's just a giant robotic Reflekdoll that shoots a beam out of its mouth, like a grade 8 Vegeta. That's pretty much it. But it's all made up for when we get to the actual fight itself, and seeing the two of them use each other's Miraculous to try and fend off the villain is excellent. Not to mention, it's a much tougher villain because they have to destroy not only the Akuma, but they also have to find the feather that made the Senti monster and gave that extra villain that extra bit of power. In other words, it's a lot more of a challenging fight than pretty much anything up to this point in the show. And them swapping their Miraculous is just ingenious, and I'm surprised they didn't do it earlier. Yeah, the fight does end a little quick, but there's some great banter back and forth. Again, hearing Marinette be Cat Noir's personality is interesting. And it's just a really amazing episode. And not to mention, it has some nice little commentary about peer pressure and stage fright, which is definitely going to connect with some people. And then, of course, you get two cool designs, one of them being one of the coolest designs in not just a show, but again, arguably in all of animation for any alternative version of an animated character. Period. And like I said, I will gladly die on that hill. This is an absolutely phenomenal episode, but it's not an 11 out of 10 quite because the start is a little slow. Get around that though, and as soon as you get to the actual fight with Mr. Bug and Lady Noir, it more than makes up for whatever little faults this episode might have had. And then you have the sweet ending. You know, a usual standard for Miraculous. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about this episode. It's action-packed, it's fun, it's fascinating, and it's just plain freaking awesome, dude. Like, easily one of my favorites of the entire show. And I don't really know what else to say. It's an absolutely phenomenal episode, and for whatever reason you have not seen it yet, check it out immediately. It's an essential episode. It is one of the best episodes of the show. It is the best episode of Season 3 so far by a mile. And I only hope that this isn't the last 10 out of 10 we get from this season. Absolutely phenomenal episode. I absolutely freaking loved it. And it's going right up there with some of the best of the entire show. Final verdict for Reflekdoll is an easy high 10 out of 10. Well-deserved 10 out of 10. First of the season. And I only hope that we get more 10 out of 10s from here. Well, that's it. And that's my final Miraculous review that I'm filming tonight because I need a throat lozenge and I need some sleep. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And stay tuned, my friends, because we're just getting started. There are 24 episodes in total in this season, so there is a lot to talk about. So, I'll see you next time when we dive into the next episode in the lineup of Season 3 of Miraculous Ladybug. Where, Dad? Should be a pretty interesting one. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm Jad Small of Animation Station. And until next time, claws in!